Hi, this is
Big Boss Salvo. On May 27th, 1986, and later in August of 1989, DragonQuest was released for the Famicom in Japan and the Nintendo Entertainment System in the United States, respectively. Dragon Warrior at the time in the US.
Prepare thyself well, Dragon Warrior. Thy most challenging quest ever awaits. Go with speed, but go with patience. Seek out an arsenal, a dragon scale, a torch, and magic herbs. Use wisdom and cunning to choose thy commands, for the Dragon Lord is a fierce rival. Horrible and treacherous minions all guard the Evil One's island castle. Art thou ready, young one?
Yes, King Warrior.
And so begins a new epic, Dragon Warrior.
Nintendo, now you're playing with power.
Written and designed by Yuji Horii, who is still heading the franchise to this day, and with art by Akira Toriyama, who made a famous cartoon or something, I think. Dragon Quest was an instant hit in Japan and barely moved the needle in the United States. The original Dragon Quest is the blueprint for not only all future JRPGs, but a multiplicity of other games. Combining a cute, simple narrative with even cuter art direction, Dragon Quest is instantly memorable. On a side note, America not using the Toriyama art and promotional material has to be why Dragon Warrior didn't land in the US. Normally in video games, saving the princess means you cut to black and that's your win. But in Dragon Quest, you defeat the dragon to save the princess, and then you subsequently carry her across the map back to the castle you started at, only to have even more story to play. It's wonderfully simple design choices like these that make these games special. A true capital R, capital P, role-playing experience. So, question becomes, how do you follow up this sweet little game? What do you mean, dude? Just put a 2 on it and then make it better. Dragon Quest II is great. While its predecessor is largely a simple, solitary story focused on one guy's quest to save the world, Dragon Quest II focuses on 3 main characters descended from the original Dragon Quest protagonist. And that last sentence is much more interesting than you think it is. Play the first 2 Dragon Quest games, bro. You can play them on your phone, and they're not that long at all. Dragon Quest II is a direct upgrade in almost every way to the original. Character design? Bro, look at these guys. I don't know why the Prince of Mindhall has a pilot helmet and anime forehead goggles on, but I love it. And the Smash Bros snub for him is absolutely criminal. My dude barely shows up in Heroes Final Smash. They really Where's Waldo'd this guy. Truly criminal. This is the main guy of this game, and you will be looking at him for the majority of the time. The Prince of Cannock is a young man of weak constitution who truly looks like a goober, and the Princess of Moonbrook be looking like a Tootsie Roll Pop, but like in a cool way. Now, music? Alright, but first of all, bro, listen to the difference in these battle themes. Dragon Quest I has a rough battle theme, and a battle theme can absolutely make or break a turn-based game for me, and Dragon Quest II definitely fares far better. But I'll cut DQ1 some slack since it was literally one of the first games of its kind. But that's not even touching on the rest of the score, composed by the late Koichi Sugiyama, who has composed the soundtrack to every Dragon Quest game up to this point. There aren't many tracks here, but compositionally these songs you can listen to on repeat in a video game sort of way and not get sick of, which I think is the most important thing about a video game soundtrack, especially for games of this era. Especially so for a JRPG where you will spend a lot of the time hearing the same song over and over again while you walk around a town trying to find the magic MacGuffin for that area. Now, narratively speaking, buddy. This game is technically the midpoint of a larger narrative, but it's also effective as a little story in its own right about finding your fellow destined royal cousins and saving the world, which I think is an experience we've all had at some point in our lives. And that brings me to my favorite upgrade in this game. Dragon Quest II allows you what the original couldn't. The simple and yet vital pleasure of traveling with your boys. Or a boy and girl. No longer are you a solitary behorned man on a solo quest. You are instead 3 little guys on a trio quest. Which brings to mind a lot of questions like, how can I be 3 guys at once? I'm only one guy in real life. That's just the magic of video games, buddy. This 3-person party system is the key distinction between Dragon Quest 1 and 2 for me, in that now you're fighting with 3 guys instead of 1. It's really not that complicated. I guess it's pretty obvious to anybody looking at it. It's going to be different if you got 3 guys instead of 1. What am I talking about? Did you know that anybody can make a YouTube channel? You can just you can type in anything in here. You can just make a channel and you're talking on a microphone. Anybody can do this. Gameplay wise, yes, I am now touching on gameplay in a video about a video game after talking about a bunch of other crap. This game can certainly sneak into the realm of grindiness. It's an aspect that I can personally forgive since the everything else is so charming and likable. Plus it's like a 16-hour playthrough according to howlongtobeat.com, so you're really not playing long enough to get mad about it. And this is coming from someone who absolutely loathes random encounters and grinding in video games. And this game has both of those things, which I loathe. A lot of the grinding is in the back half of the game, and this is due to the fact that the development cycle for Dragon Quest II was less than a year. They wanted to focus on making the game more interesting combat-wise, implementing a party to battle with, and multi-monster fights. The game was originally planned to release in December of 1986, a mere 7 months after the release of the original, but development was delayed by a whole entire month to better balance the game. Unfortunately, the original Dragon Quest II on the Famicom still had some balancing issues in the latter half of the game that were somewhat remedied in re-releases and remakes, but the game is still regarded as one of the most difficult Dragon Quest games to this day. Beyond that, it's mostly your typical turn-based JRPG, but what I like about Dragon Quest games is that their combat is simple but effective. You're not going to be bogged down in a lot of menus, optimizing your who's-its and what's-its. You're just going to be straight gaming, buddy. And I would just like to take a moment to touch on the art for this game. For a decent amount of time after I beat Dragon Quest II, I was obsessed with these character designs. They just reek with Toriyama-y personality and charm, which may or may not speak to you, but I grew up on Dragon Ball, so. And I don't have to tell you about the enemy designs, or maybe I do? I guess that's the whole reason I'm talking right now. Anyway, the monster designs are, as always, fantastic. You have the usual slimes along with your drag mages, your fat rats. These guys all rule. Video game franchises are rarely so persevering as the Dragon Quest series, in the sense that a lot of the minds behind these games have stayed relatively the same since the inception of the original, all the way back in 1986. Yuji Horii, Akira Toriyama, and Koichi Sugiyama specifically have all had some hand in making these games. It's honestly remarkable when you consider how hard it is to have a successful anything, much less 11 of those things, plus spin-offs. And all these games are still infinitely playable even today. Ignoring some less than modern visuals in certain versions, these are just straight up a good time to play. They ask very little of the player while giving little gifts to them. The title of this video is probably something like why you should play Dragon Quest II, but really man, you should play like all of these or any of these. I myself got into the series thanks to an impulse buy of 11, a great game, and then played 1 through 4 and am currently playing 5. 1 through 3 are a dynamite little trilogy, and 3 is getting one of those HD 2D remakes, so I highly recommend checking that out. And that's coming from a dude that hates JRPGs, or like I used to. I guess obviously I don't hate them anymore because I just made a whole video talking about them. But anyway, I'm just rambling now. Play Dragon Quest 2, but play Dragon Quest 1 first, and then play Dragon Quest 3, and then go ahead and do the rest of them too.